Is there a time where you feel like I just want to give up? I just don't want to be on this path anymore. I'm tired. I feel like there's this conflict going on inside of me. And I know there's so many people feeling this right now. I hear people say, I'm waking up in the middle of the night. I'm nervous. I feel this anxiety going on inside of me. I can't sleep. Well, what's going on? If you're doing this spiritual work and you're coming and you're trying to recreate what doesn't serve you and create this beautiful reality of this divinity that you are, what's happening? Why am I feeling this way? I can't tell you how many times I have wanted to give up on this journey. How many times I've wanted to go the other way and turn around. And maybe if I numb myself enough, it won't matter if I turn around and go backwards. I know that so many of you have had those same feelings, haven't you? Have you? Yeah. It's like this agitation that's going on inside of us. And especially now, because not only is it a personal experience, it is a collective experience. When we look outside of us, how can we not become agitated on the inside? Well, we're going to learn a little bit about why we are going through that. Because if you give up, you will not become the person that you have come here to be. You will not fulfill the commitment that you made as a soul that said, yes, I'll take that on. You're not living from mission and purpose. Not only for yourself as an individual expression of all that is, but also for the all, for the whole. Because of this oneness that we are, what we do personally affects the whole, affects the oneness that we are. So, don't give up. Let's find out what's going on. Chemicalization. How many of you have heard this word? Okay, Carly, what do you call it?
Alchemization.
Alchemization.
Divine operation.
Divine operation. So there's different terms for this. Unity uses the term chemicalization. So let's look. This here, Heart-Centered Metaphysics, written by Paul Hasselbeck. It's a big book we use in all of our all my teachings and my classes, and it goes through every terminology that we need to take a deeper look at metaphysically. So let's see what chemicalization says. A condition in the mind that is brought about by the conflict that takes place when a high spiritual realization contacts an old error state of consciousness. Whenever a new spiritual idea is entered into the mind, some negative belief is disturbed and it resists. It pushes against. So it makes total sense why you have this agitation going on. Think of a washing machine when it's in that agitated cycle. And what's it doing when it's in that cycle? It's cleansing. It's cleaning, right? It's getting rid of the stains or the dirt that was in clothes. The same thing is going on with you. You took a lifetime to develop all this dirt and all these error ways of thinking that it makes total sense that it's going to have to get a little agitated in there in order to release it. So that's what's going on. And Emmett Fox, one of our favorite people here, we have so many of his wonderful books, he says, it seems as though everything begins to go wrong at once. How many times have y'all come in here and I've heard you tell me all these stories, including myself, of everything that's going wrong, right? Especially now. This may be disconcerting, but it is really a good sign. So remember this, okay? When you're feeling that everything's going wrong, that it's a good sign, okay? Suppose your whole world seems to rock on its foundation, that agitation. Hold on steadily and let it rock. Let it rock. And when the rocking is over, the picture will have reassembled itself into something much nearer to your heart's desire. So, don't give up. Because if you do, you may miss your heart's desire. The whole reason you have come here has this expression of your heart expressing love. Yes. Does anybody have any questions about those definitions of chemicalization? Or want to add to it?
I was just going to say about that, Marianne Williamson has a great quote. When you feel like the rug is about to be pulled out from under your feet, that's when a shift is happening.
Yes.
I think a lot of us have been feeling like these rugs
on
our footing. So it's a good thing a shift is happening.
Yes, and that's your first indication that it is in the process of evolving into your reality. Joy?
I don't have a question, but I have something that I use as almost a mantra or mental, or you can say it sometimes. But out of chaos comes change.
Yes.
Unless you go through the period of chaos, you won't change.
Right.
And if you don't, you can't go around it, you can't go over it, and you can't go under it. You have to go through it.
Have to go through it, exactly.
And it's not pleasant, but it does help.
Yes. Now, go ahead, Joy.
And sometimes it's really painful to go through, but it helps. Try
Yes.
it. You might like it.
Yeah. And the thing is, do you think that every single person has to go through chemicalization? Not necessarily. The people that actually experience this the worst are the ones that their beliefs are so deep and ingrained within them. Those are the ones that will have this huge agitation going on. Now, you're going to get uncomfortable. Yes, yes, because it's change. Julie?
So the question that I have is, well, comment and question. I do believe that higher spiritual knowledge is sprinkled among everyone, but I don't think that everyone has to experience the level of agitation.
Yes.
However, one of the people that I love to listen to is Dr. Jordan Peterson, psychologist, and he talks about that new thoughts create a war in your mind.
Yes.
So the war doesn't have to be bloody and awful. It could be, okay, I surrender,
Yes.
but we all are constantly receiving those sprinkles of new information, I think.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Carla?
My God's rod was trying to help me understand this, going through the process of the faculties of our mind, like they keep using Saul to Paul.
Yes.
That's what they keep using, from his old thought patterns to look what he became. So with that agitation is, like one of the things we talked about yesterday, that agitation is those programs, those old beliefs, those patterns, those thoughts have been, some of them deeply ingrained within us since we were babies. So we're talking 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years. So as this awakening process is happening in these new thoughts, that's a lot to anchor with this. So that's why our spiritual practice is so important as we are trying to anchor these new beliefs. And just like you had said, and right when that big anchor of the new is happening, that's when this old playbook is going to rile right up and start talking to you real big, that voice. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. So just keep doing your practice. Yeah.
Because the subconscious mind is going to want to be heard. So it's going to do whatever it can to get your attention because you fed it everything. Everything. No matter if it was right, wrong, good, bad, whatever you want to judgment, you want to place on it, your subconscious mind received it all. So it's just going to be like a child who doesn't get its way. It's going to throw a tantrum fit, and it's going to do whatever it can to get your attention. But by getting your attention, this brings it into your awareness. That's the whole reason. You wanted to throw a fit. You wanted to have that tantrum so that it becomes part of your awareness. Most of the time, we're not going to be aware of it, are we? Sometimes we don't even know what we believe. Have you ever noticed that? How something will come up and you're like, do I still believe that? That's happened to me numerous times in the last 6 months or so. Something will come up and I'll be like, well, where did that come from? I thought that was gone. But it's that little bit of residue that's just still there. Didn't get in that spin cycle. It didn't totally get out. So yeah. Anybody else? Anything? Margot?
In theta healing, you're doing a different form of chemicalization. You identify a false belief that you hold in your subconscious, and you work with Creator to just pull it and replace it with divine truth.
Yes.
And it's just instant and easy as all heck.
Yes.
The whole Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
Asking the Holy
And there's
Spirit.
so many processes, spiritual processes that we can do that ignite that immediately.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. But if you are so deeply ingrained in a belief, even if you're not even aware of it,
So there's a lot,
Yeah.
even past lives.
oh yeah, in past lives,
And
collectively,
And you can have a whole collection of related beliefs, so pulling one doesn't fix it.
right,
You have to get the whole cluster.
yes, yes, yeah. So those are those little things that are going to just start showing themselves. And the biggest thing yesterday that we learned was willingness. To become willing to look at it and to do something about it. And we're going to show you today what Unity teaches that we do by using denials and affirmations. So what does this feel like to you?
Talk to the hand. Tell your mama the drama, because I'm not interested anymore.
I've not heard that before.
That's a new one on me too. Okay, Carl. We're a little slap happy after yesterday, yeah. So, but what did you feel? I want to know what you felt. Not what this looks like, but what did you feel?
Yeah.
Nobody's listening.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when we talk about denials in unity, this is not denying something to be. This is just eliminating something that doesn't serve us. But when you just saw this right then and there, I want to know what you felt in your body. Not closed as in a feeling.
Yucky.
Yucky?
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you feel like a resistance, like not going there, you know, or, yeah. What I'm looking for a feeling, though.
I was almost like pushback, I don't know.
Yeah. Frustration, or... Anyway, I just wanted you to get what that feels like. And that's what we're doing to our body.
Are you asking us what the little emoji's feeling? Or are you asking us what we feel
What
when we
you
see the
feel
emoji?
when you look at him. The feeling.
Junior high school all over again.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to understand what happens in the body when you have a truth that you thought was true to you that comes up. And this is what you do, right? You want to push it. You want to almost ignore it because it's so ingrained in you that you thought it was a truth, right? What we've grown up with, society, and all of our people that have taught us, parents. So this is what happens to your body within you when you have this error thinking that comes up. It's like, no way, don't mess with me. It becomes almost protective of you. Why does it become protective of you? Because when you develop the false belief in the beginning, you were in survival mode. You were trying to survive. You were trying to live a life where you did not feel like you had any control. You were just living on autopilot and going through the action, right? Yeah.
Wounded ego.
Wounded ego. And like we learned yesterday, wounded ego will always be with you. It is a part of the human experience. But we want to teach the wounded ego that it is safe and it is protective. And I'm the adult now, and I'm in charge, and I will help you and guide you and protect you because I am learning who I truly am, what I truly am. So no longer do I have to feel like a survival victim. I become a survival victor. I become the victor. Okay? So, need a little house cleaning? I'm ready when you are.
Come over to my house.
Yeah.
Please talking about that.
So, this is something that we need to do on a regular basis, or I invite you to do on a regular basis, is to clean house. And I mean inwardly. But I'm ready when you are. You, as a human being, have to be ready to do this, right? Your spiritual beingness is always ready, always there, ready to provide, ready to protect, ready to give you so many potentials and possibility, unlimited. Whoa, yeah. But it can't do that if you have all this clutter inside of you. Because what are thoughts? Things. Thank you, Jim. Thoughts are things. They take up space. So in order for us to bring in our new truths, our absolute truths, and we know what those are, we have to clear out space for them. So, are you all ready to clean house a little bit? Do you have your journals? So I want to pause here, and let's just get settled in our seats. And we want to ask, what false error beliefs are we still holding on to? And when we ask, we receive. So let's just get still and go within and just ask the question, what false beliefs or error thinking is still residing in my sacred space? And remember, the first thoughts that you have are the intuitive guidance. So as that comes to you, it might be 1, it might be 5. Write those down because we're going to release them. Spiritual path is a path of action. When we apply the action step, we create a higher vibration, especially when we are letting go. So as these come up for you, I invite you to come up and release them. to gently let them go. For those of you who've never done this, we created a very interacting service, and you just come up and with whatever you're wanting to release with your paper, you just put it in the flame for transformation, and then you put it in the water to cleanse. And if you don't have any thing comes up for you today, we've done so much work that you may not have anything that comes up. And that's okay too. I have a lot. Burn, baby, burn.
That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
You should all be singing Elsa's Let It Go.
Yeah, that's a
You gotta
great.
get that for next week,
Let
remember.
it go.
Although she was the ice lady, ice queen.
Yeah, let it go, let it go, let it go. And another thing that, you know, if there's something within your physical body that you feel constricted or tension, pay attention to those things, because that gives you some direction as to maybe what you are holding on to that you're not even aware of. That's what this book is all about. Does anybody have something within them they're not sure? Did you have something? What? Oh. So anytime that you're unsure of what's going on or what you're holding on to, get still and focus on your physical being. Because it is within your physical being that things are manifesting for what you have held emotionally within yourself. Okay? Emotionally or mentally, it will begin to manifest in the physical body. So this is why we recommend this book, because it gives you insight into what's going on in that area.
Lisa, what?
You can heal your life, and we have plenty of them here. It gives you the problem, like say if you have nausea, and then the probable cause, fear. Rejecting an idea or an experience. Rejecting an idea or an experience. And then to create the new thought pattern, I am safe, I trust the process of life to bring only good to me. So, this book, we always have plenty in our gift shop because you just can't go without having that book because it gives great insights.
What's a good one for the eyes? A lot of people are having problems
With
with
their
their eyes
eyes?
and headaches. Yes, that's about our third eye. But what's a good one for people to be saying for that?
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people with headaches,
Yeah,
sinus.
cleansing our third eye.
Which is eyesight.
Got farsighted, nearsighted, all kinds of eyes up. Okay, just eyes in general represent the capacity to see clearly. And all of us right now, we're in this process of what we're doing today, of letting go of and of affirming the truth, capital T. So yeah, we're probably having some problems seeing clearly. Represents a capacity to see clearly, past, present, and future. I actually put this up on my refrigerator for some time. The new thought pattern, I see with love and joy. I see with love and joy. So a lot of this has to do with the head. It's like Carly said, the third eye is trying to open up. We're trying to re-establish our truth because the truth is always there. We're just trying to re-establish it. We're just trying to bring it into the visible and release whatever's blocking that or creating baggage around that, constriction around that. Okay?
What does it say about vision?
Vision?
Same thing, but different way of looking at it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know. Vision in here?
See,
My
No, vision isn't in here.
with my angel cards, Uira has been showing up for the past couple of weeks.
Uh-huh.
And Uira, she represents, the
Third eye.
third eye.
Oh.
Seeing things, so what we can ask for is to see things through God's eyes. Go into agreement to see things through God's eyes.
Yeah.
Whole, beautiful, abundant, seeing the majesty of all God's creations. Kind of like, with that
Yes.
prayer.
Right.
Asking to, see things through God. Because there's so many distortions out there right now.
Yes. And we have to make that initial step to commit, to become willing, to say yes. Nothing happens because of our free will. Nothing happens without our agreement, our permission. So a lot of people, they're just floundering around, Why isn't this getting better? Why isn't this happening? And my first question is always, did you ask? Oh, no? What do I ask? Well, you ask whatever you're desiring to become reality within you, So people forget that. I do too. We all do, So let's go through some stages of chemicalization. What is this all about? The first stage is new truth is introduced. So you have a new truth. When I first came to Unity, I heard all this stuff and all this empowering things, and I had all this power within me, and I'm like, what? No. Didn't feel comfortable, didn't feel good, went against everything that I was taught, even though when I was taught, even though I was a little girl, we were talking about this morning, I still felt that something wasn't right. But when this new truth was introduced to me, I became very agitated and very frustrated about it. First of all, because I thought everybody else had lied to me my whole life. And I was a little pissed off. And I mean pissed off, that's right. Because how dare you all tell me something that has nothing to do with being in the alignment of my Creator? So yeah, I was pretty mad about it, and I had to work through years to get through that. But what happened, the seed was planted. The seed was planted. So then I could do, that's when we make a choice. Okay, am I going to stay with this truth and try to do what I need to do to learn about this truth and see if it resonates with me through a process of acquiring the intellectual knowledge that eventually becomes our wisdom, becomes that power of our wisdom within? Or am I going to turn around and go the other way? And I went the other way numerous times, but I always came back because that seed was planted. I didn't kill the seed all the way.
You wanted it a little
I was watering it a little bit, so it stayed growing. A very slow process for me, years and years. It doesn't have to take that long, but I just wanted you to know that it can take as long as you allow it to take, because you're in control of it. Okay, then the upheaval, boy, bleh, is next. And of course we're going to have that, just like what happened to me. I was angry, I was frustrated, I wanted to go back and condemn everybody in my life that had ever, led me astray. So why is that? We are literally rebirthing ourselves, right? We are going through conception all over again as a spiritual being that we came here to be. So, did any of us come in the world not kicking and screaming? Huh? I don't know. Did you just slither on out? Oh, okay.
The doctor said, my mom said, why isn't she crying? And he said, I can make her cry if you want me to.
Oh.
She said, yeah. So he spanked me and I cried.
Oh.
She was ready to get here.
That was my, yeah.
But you got spanked to wake you up.
Yeah, I guess.
Think about that.
dislodge anything you have.
But I'm referring to the spiritual of just waking you up.
Yeah.
I have people around here that spank me to this day.
Me?
She wants to get something across, she spanks me. Okie dokie. So, okay, so we're going through a birthing process. Oh, boy. Well, yeah, I love it. I love having fun.
We learned how to spank people at church today.
Before you leave, you will be spanked.
Spiritually spanked.
Spiritual spanking.
At a show last night, they had a bum paddle.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to laugh. It was called a bum paddle because that's what they call it in England, a little bum paddle.
Oh,
For your bum.
we want a real paddle. We want to really wake up. We want to really wake up. So in your bulletin, I gave you this to take with you. It's what I have up here, not all of it, but I came up with the other stuff later after it percolated a while. So here's a prayer if you're having some a period of upheaval to assist you through this. Let's say this together. I am the peace and stillness of all that is. There is nothing to fear. I am the truth of all that is. I peacefully and joyfully accept higher truth in my life now. So this will just bring you to a little bit of stillness within your being just by saying this. It will redirect that upheaval that you're feeling. And that's how the spiritual path works. You pay attention, you observe, you become curious, and when things come up, you're the master of it. You're the master of the thought, of the feeling. Then what do you do with it? How do I react to it? How do I resolve it? Through the universal truths that are absolute. That is the spiritual path right there. Okay? And then you have the stillness and the shedding. Now in the stillness, you start to settle down a little bit. You start to feel a little bit more comfortable within your being, Things are leveling out. You know, your practices are starting to work that you're doing every day. You start the letting go process. And here we use denials. Denying that whatever is not of the absolute truth, we are willing to let it go. Charles Fillmore, our founder of Unity, says, you do it gently. We talked yesterday, Carly talked a lot about spirit. Everything is very gentle and very kind and very loving. She said, doesn't yell at you. And I think I kind of did that when I first started talking. I was yelling at y'all a little bit. So I think when we get so excited, we want to be this expression. But spirit is a gentleness, a kindness, a lovingness. So just gently with your denials, release what is no longer serving you. Okay? And I like this part. It talks about this sadness. I have felt very sad here lately. And I'm not even trying to figure it out. I just know, especially after preparing for this talk, that this is part of what I'm going through. I'm a little sad that all the things that I thought I was, or that I thought I thought or felt, were all false. Did they serve me? Yes. They served me. They gave me direction. They taught me how to overcome. They were all there in service to me. But I'm not that me anymore. So it is a little sadness. It's like a grieving process, I think, that we feel as we let go of that beautiful person that we still were, that had so much trauma and baggage before we go forward into our transformation. So there's a sadness. And so in a Course in Miracles, this is something that you can remember as you're going through this stillness and the shedding. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. So this is also in your paper. This is a very deep statement. A lot of people are like, no way, Jose. But all it's saying is that anything of the absolute cannot be threatened, cannot be changed, cannot hurt you. There's no fear that needs to be created around it. And everything else is not even real. It's just an experience that you've come here to have. It's not absolute, it's temporary. Okay? So that's basically all it says. You know, we kind of read more into it because that ego back there wants to cause some agitation. So it's up to you whether you allow it or you don't allow it. It's all up to you. So then we get to the fulfillment and unlevel. Being still in purpose. Being still in spirit is where we desire to remain during this time as we wait for the final pieces to fall into place and listen for the next insight and direction. So this is where, good thing that we didn't quit, that we didn't stop, because this is the reward. You come back into being the spiritual being that you've always been, always will be, no matter what. And it starts filling you up. You start to gain clarity. I'm starting to get to where I can hear things now. There's a clarity happening within me that I just know. I just know. And I don't need to know why I know. I just know because I'm sure it's of the absolute realm of heaven. So we start listening, we start praying, we start meditating, we start doing what we are. And that's to keep our vibration high. Because our higher self is what we're all here to obtain. And so we just become fulfilled and we up level. We level out. So that we learn to just be right here, right now. We level out. We love what is, no matter what the evidence outside is showing us. We go within that there's only love. Okay? So take these with you if you'd like as you go through this process. So now we come to our affirmations, denials and affirmations. You must always follow whatever you're releasing and letting go of, because now, since thoughts are things, we have a space that's void. We don't want to leave it void so that the subconscious mind can fill it up with whatever it wants to fill it up with. No, I'm the master of my life. I'm going to take charge of what I choose to fill that void up with. So I'm going to do some affirmations. Visualization, like Margot did, you know, creating a visualization of what Mother Earth looks like. You know, when she is whole and she's safe and she's growing and prospering. So we use visualizations to help us with that. So you all just let go of a false belief that you did not want to continue with. You made that decision and that choice to let it go. So now we want to follow that with an affirmation. So what you let go of would you like to fill that space with? The truth, an absolute truth, not just a truth, but an absolute truth. Okay, and you all know what those are, right? You all know what absolute truths are, right? No? Well, if you've been coming here for the last couple years, you should know, but there's that should again, so we'll take that out because I don't want to make you wrong. But anything that is of the universe, of spirit, is absolute and unchanging. So I invite you now to replace whatever you lost, whatever you let go of, with an affirmation of an absolute truth to fill that into your sacred space. And those of you who let go of things, I really invite you to make sure you fill that with an affirmation.
During this process, visualization work is so good. Remember what I mentioned yesterday? Your mind does not know if it's real or not. Just like when you're watching a television show, your mind doesn't know if you're experiencing it or if it's actually happening.
Yeah.
So visualization. Sometimes they have those really pretty meditations. They have those beautiful pictures. Those are so nice to watch too, because you respond to it, so your body thinks it's real.
Yeah. I love it. I didn't used to be able to visualize hardly. I mean, I'd sit and I would try to form a visualization, and I just couldn't. There was just too much cloudiness up, brain fog or whatever you want to call it. But I have no problem today, and that's another practice, something we practice. If nothing's coming up, remember to ask. Ask your higher self what truth you are going to reestablish. Oh, I forgot to tell you what to do. As you can probably tell I'm a little tired from yesterday. When you come up here to reestablish an affirmation, you're going to light this with this candle of source. And then you're going to light a candle down here. Okay? Okay? Sorry. I must have fell asleep up there for a while. Now we need the song Light My Fire.
Woo,
That's showing my age, isn't
I
it?
am worthy.
Yes.
I am worthy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Good thing I like that smell. Mm-hmm.
Where are they?
Are my matches damp? Is that everybody?
Okay, so now we're gonna go into a meditation, and this meditation is to connect you to the power within. So now you have let go of what's not serving you. You have affirmed an absolute divine energy of your being, and so now we're gonna go into a meditation that will ignite that power within you, okay? So let's get settled in our seats. Let's plant our feet on the ground and allow your seat to support you, as we are always, always supported. Universally, we're always supported. Let's form that vision. Use our visualization to see the cords, the roots, the crystal light, whatever resonates with you. See that coming from your tailbone, straight down through the spine, from your feet, and into beautiful Mother Earth, forming the Trinity. And we just hug Mother Earth's core. Stay grounded within her beautiful love. We come up, we allow that to come back up through our spine, connect us to our heart, and we envision the great sun, the source of all that is, liquid light coming down through the crown of our chakra, down back into our spinal cord, connecting us to our heart. And it is here that we expand the heart and we open up to receiving the message of the power that is within, is us, has us, an expression of all that is.